subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. We're getting to this a little bit late because everybody decided to do their North American roster moves while I was on the flight. And then when I landed yesterday, I was already a day late. So I figured, you know what? Let's just wait this one out. This is a little bit delayed and I apologize for that, but you know, flights are, that's just how it goes. And so if you haven't seen it yet, M80 dropped Hex. Basically, I assume they picked up his contract just as is, and then they didn't decide to renew him. So it wasn't like he necessarily got benched and he's roster locked, which is actually good news, like in general, because I do feel like Hex helped M80 kind of. M80 did take a step this year, like overall. Like they did get better with Hex there instead of Rec. You know, how much better, you could argue, whatever, but I think they were better. I think they had a higher ceiling. I still think Hex struggles versus European competition, and like he's capable. He just isn't performing like the way I would hope he does. But that doesn't make him bad. It just, he was better than what they had before. They did more, but also I think, you know, this is just a segue into the next part, which is I think when you have JBA available to sign, if you guys don't know, like JBA is like quite really good friends also, like with a couple of these guys on that M80 roster. You could say like nepotism, I guess, but I don't think that's the right word to use for this. My point saying that is like, I think they really wanted to get JBA. Like, I just think that this is less a we hate HexT or HexT is super dog shit, let's get rid of him and never talk to this guy again. It was more like his contract's ending and we all know JBA and we know what he's capable of, and we could get him on the team right now and have it make sense. And you know, who was I having this conversation with at the major? I'll be honest here. Like, we knew that a potential change was coming to M80. I have to know for my event. You know, when I was talking about it with a couple other people, we didn't know who yet. And I was, you know, we were kind of going through it, and I didn't think it made any sense for them to drop Swisher, for example, because if you don't know, he really is the glue guy of that team. And I think peak wise, Hex might be a little bit higher, but I feel like cohesion, like what Swisher brings isn't always necessarily best shown on the stats. And I think for the major anyway, Swisher had a great major, but this to me made the most sense, even though it was kind of weird outside looking in, if they were to part ways with Hex. And the fact that his contract ended and it wasn't like they renegotiated a new one when he came over, this actually makes perfect sense to me. And this really has less to do with Hex being bad and more so that people just being incredibly, like, JBA might be able to elevate them a little bit further. I do think that JBA actually has been a little bit worse lately. Like, it's hard to also know exactly what was going on with Wildcard and not basically give JBA a giant fucking blank, like, pass on everything that was going on in that team. I think looking at JBA and his level would be much more accurate looking at like their previous runs and how well he played, rather than being like, oh, well, he's been kind of shit lately on a ChatGPT/Ask Grok roster. You know what I mean? Overall, I think this is a good move for M80. I feel bad for Hex, but like I said, the glass half full for Hex is since they didn't re-sign him, he's not like in some sort of contract prison type situation where he's just rotting on the bench, which is not only good for him, but good for the scene, because I think Hex has a lot to offer. And hopefully he ends up on like, let's go bounce around. I mean, well, who would it be? I don't think he would go back to Energy. Maybe though. That'd be kind of interesting. Then you have Passion. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I might sound a little salty, but kind of like I don't know how much Passion really wants to be an NA team. I could be wrong, but I don't know if that's really their goal. Like more and more that Passion roster is starting to feel like, thank you very much for the VRS. We got what we wanted. I don't think that's going to happen. I know there's something brewing as well that he might be going to. I don't know if he's going to go to Energy, maybe a Marsborn. Who else? I mean, he could go join Skinrave. I just don't know what's going on with Skinrave as like with the new Valve rules. I don't know. I think I mean, obviously, I hope he's on a fucking team. Any of these teams, with him not having a buyout, him not being on a team would be literally just criminal. It'd be so fucking dumb. Actually, just stupid. So, I don't know where he'll end up, though. I don't know where he'll end up. He's definitely going to have some options, I think. But on the flip side, I am glad to see JBA is just not rotting on Wildcard's bench. Hopefully, more to come for the others as well. We'll see. I think that's really it, though. Let me know in the comments below where you think Hex is going to go, and if you like JBA on M80, and if you think it actually kind of like pushes them to the next level.